All right. Welcome. This is Lee Marie with The Go Show on 1100 WSGI, your source for information, inspiration, and always a few dates to add to your calendar. I'm so glad that you have joined us here at WSGI. All right, we have a special guest today, but before we do that, let's go ahead and go to the Lord in prayer. All right, Heavenly Father, we just come to you right now. We thank you for today. We thank you for the show. We ask that you take the show just exactly where you want it to go. We love you. We praise you. We need you. In the mighty name of Jesus, amen. All right. Welcome, Aubrey Nicole.
Hi, thanks for having me.
And for those of you that were watching U-Turn Laverne's show just now, she had just a little 1 minute teaser there with Aubrey, and she had asked her if she was local. Well, she is, because she does go to school here now.
Yep, I go to Belmont.
Yeah, so even though she's not, born and raised here, she goes to Belmont University. And also the reason why I asked for her to come in is because she's going to be part of the Sunday Morning Country show that's coming up just June 7th. So that's super, super close. But Aubrey has a wonderful background that I just can't wait to share with all of you guys. Now, I'm hoping that I have that Sunday Morning Country flyer in here because I wanted to. Did you happen to bring one on you?
I don't have the flyer, but I can look it up on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, bring it up because I just wanted to make sure everybody had the specifics on tickets because I know they're going to want to go. And I thought I had one in here, but maybe not. So Sunday Morning Country is going to be coming up. Here we go. Thank you. And it's going to be the pre-show's at 3:30, and the regular show is at 4. But I'm going to tell you something. I went the last 2 years. Do not miss the pre-show because it was just as good as the rest of the show. And so we'll get you that Facebook picture. I'm going to go ahead and share that on the Lee Marie Facebook page so you guys can just get all the information that way. Real easy that way. But anyways, Aubrey Nicole has a real cool background because she was recently on The Voice and did very well.
Oh, thank you.
And so I want to hear about that experience and how it was, working with Reba, because Reba was your coach, right?
She was.
How exciting. So first off, how did you even get to that point of being on The Voice?
Yeah, so there's, a little bit of an extensive audition process, but, they have these virtual open calls that anyone can submit for. And so I've been auditioning, on and off, for the past, maybe 4 or 5 years, just submitting a tape here and there whenever I had time. And this time in particular, my mom had sent me the open call and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. I have a lot of classes today, but I told myself, I was like, if my phone was on a really low percentage too, I was like, if my phone lasts long enough past this last class of mine, I'll do the audition. And it was at 9% when I turned my audition in, but I turned it in and then I got where I went. So it was a really cool experience.
Oh, very cool. Awesome. And so, there we go. So this was just this past year.
Yep.
All right. So then what next? So you were you surprised when you got the call or the email, or what did you get?
Yes, I was so nervous about the whole thing that I just told myself, I was like, I'm not going to think about it. I'm literally going to pretend that it's not happening. So when it does happen or it doesn't happen, I'm not too attached to it. And so, for a while, I just kind of forgot about it. And then in February of 2025, I got a phone call from California. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is around the time they said that they'd call. This is crazy. They could be calling me and saying that I'm not going in, but I don't think they usually call for that. It's probably an email. So I was driving on Music Row and I literally had to pull my car over because I was freaking out. I was so excited. And it was a crazy experience getting that phone call.
So then what was the next step after that?
Yeah, after this, I really want to just continue hitting the ground running. I released my first song. I've been in the studio a lot the past couple of months, getting some more stuff out. I really love releasing and writing music. Mm-hmm. And especially I want to keep, honing my craft. Mm-hmm. So especially this summer, I have a lot of cool gigs lined up, like Sunday Morning Country. Mm-hmm. And I'm just excited for whatever's to come.
Okay. So back to The Voice, because I want to still talk more about that. So the next step of The Voice. So you got the call saying,
I'm sorry.
That's okay, no worries. So you got the call saying you made the first cut, or we want to see you, or what was?
The next was actually flying out to California and having your blind audition, which I think that's the most nervous I've ever been in my entire life. I remember standing backstage and like, you know, they get you all ready and like someone's fixing, you know, your little flyaways in your hair. Someone's like blotting your face, like to make sure it's not shiny. And then they all leave. And then you have like maybe a couple minutes to yourself, maybe like 10 seconds to yourself. I couldn't tell you because I literally don't remember. I was so nervous. And so I was like standing behind these doors and then they were like, up next, Aubrey Nicole. And my heart dropped to my toes. It was such a scary moment. And so I walk out on stage and I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't usually get nervous before a performance. Like I get anxious to go out and do it so I'm not sitting there waiting to go on. But I was nervous and I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. Like at that point, I just wanted to have the opportunity to audition. Like I didn't really mind if I got a chair turn or not.
And explain to people what a chair turn is in case they've never seen The Voice.
So The Voice is basically, it's like kind of a game show kind of thing. It's a singing competition, but it has this cool aspect where if the coaches want you on their team, it's 4 celebrity coaches, they press this, or technically they start your audition with their chairs turned to not face you. And if they want you on their team, they'll press a button and they turn around. Okay. So whoever turns around, then you go on their team, or if 2 people turn around, you have to pick between the 2, or, you know, however many turn around, you would have to pick if there's more than one. So I'm standing up there and I was like, gosh, like Reba McEntire is right there. I mean, she's been one of my biggest influences my entire life. So just having the chance to be in the same room as her was beyond what I could have ever asked for. And so I'm like halfway through the song and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, like I haven't gotten to the big part yet. Like I'm not going to look at those chairs. And I get to this part and it's right before I even get to the big part. So I still wasn't expecting anything. And then I see her turn around. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Mind you, she looks stunning. Like she was sitting there and the light was shining on her. Her eyes were like shining. Like I was completely starstruck. I was like, oh my gosh, it's literally Reba McEntire. Like in my brain, that's all I could think about. And then I remembered I still had the whole second half of the performance to do. So I had to lock back in there. But you can even see in the video of my blind audition, like when she turns around, I smile. I'm like, oh my gosh. But it was a really cool moment. And she even got choked up during my performance, which was really, really amazing. I'm trying to remember what she specifically said, but she was like, sometimes sound cuts through walls and yours did and it hit my heart, something like that. She's such a sweet woman. But yeah, so that was my blind audition experience.
Wow. Very cool. So then the next part.
Yeah. After that, there's a couple more rounds. Next was the battle round. I did not win my battle round. I lost, but Reba saved me, and thank God she did.
Now, how did that work? How did she save you?
So basically, if you don't win your battle round, your battle round is you and another person sing a duet, but you're against each other. You and someone in the same team. So I went up against this girl named Corey Kennedy, and she is incredible. And I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. And I told myself, I was like, I'm working for Save Her Steel. I was like, I got to work for that Save Her Steel, like no matter what. And we were both really good friends. So we both wanted to make it through. We wanted the both of us to make it through. And so our performance was really, really great. You could definitely feel that chemistry. And so, Reba's like, Corey, you win this battle. And she goes off stage. And I was honestly so excited for her. I'm up there clapping. I'm getting the audience to clap for Corey. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And then Carson Daly, who is the host, he taps me on the shoulder and he's like, so is there anything that you want to say to your coach? And I was like, oh no. Like I forgot I could go home right now. And before I think I said the words like I would like to, and then Reba hit her save button. So there's the option if you don't win your battle, your coach can either save you or another coach can steal you. Oh. So I saw Reba hit her button and I started celebrating, and then Snoop Dogg of all people hit his steal. So I had to choose between the two of them. And Snoop Dogg, I did not know much about him before I went on the show, but he is the sweetest, most kindest human being. But I did stay with Reba, just because we aligned so much. Like, of course, obviously country music. She's the queen of country music. but she's also an actress, and so am I. So we both really emotionally connect to songs, and I knew that I would learn a lot if I stayed on her team. So that round, I chose to be saved by Reba. And then the next round was the knockout round, and I sang a Martina McBride song, which was amazing. It sounded amazing, but like that was a great moment because I love Martina McBride. And I won that round. And then we went to the playoffs, which was there were only 4 people left on each team. And one person was being picked out of all of those, like per team, one person per team out of the 4 was being picked to go into the finale. And I was the youngest person on my team. I was the only girl. I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see what happens. And I think that round was when our coaches chose our song, I'm pretty sure, but I got Black Velvet by Alana Miles, and I was nervous just because I'm more of, sweet girl next door, like country, and I remember in my rehearsal, before I went on stage, Reba was like, it's like my Sandra D's gone Sandy. It was so cute. It was so cute.
Oh my gosh.
And so I went through that round, and we're all standing up there, all 4 of us, and we're waiting to hear who got picked for the finale. And she said my name. And I totally, for a second, there was another guy on my team whose name's Aaron Nichols. Aubrey Nicole, Aaron Nichols. I was like, oh, did she say Aaron? Like, that's awesome. And then I was like, wait a minute. I think she said my name. I was so shocked. But it was so amazing. It was such a cool experience. And so then we get to the finale, which was live, which was super cool. So the first night is your own performances. So I did Till You Can't by Cody Johnson, and then Reba let me do The Night the Lights Went On in Georgia, which she originally recorded by Vicki Lawrence. So that was really awesome to sing one of her, biggest hits in front of her. And then the night after, so that's the first night is kind of when people vote. And then the next night is kind of fun. So you have like your duet with your coach. And then at the end of the night, they announce who the winner is. And so Reba and I got to sing Mary Did You Know, which being able to sing a religious song with Reba McEntire is like top of the to-do list. So that was amazing. And then at the end of the night, I placed 4th, which honestly, I would have been happy if I was disqualified. So I was so excited.
That is so cool. Now, can people go like on YouTube, or how can they see some of this?
Yeah, if you look up Aubrey Nicole, usually anything The Voice pops up first, just because it has so many likes and views and everything. Or you can specifically look up Aubrey Nicole The Voice. So Aubrey Nicole is AubreyNicole.
Ah, very cool. All right. And so what about that one battle that you had? Is that battle footage on there too?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep, all of it's on there.
It is. Oh, that's going to be fun.
And it's also on my socials too. I think sometimes they only post the performances online, but like if you want like the coaches' comments afterwards and like my reactions afterwards, those are on my social media. And that's all Aubrey Nicole official.
Okay, very cool. Awesome. Well, I'm going to talk about Ridgetop Mower here because we have to tell you the reason why we are here is because of our fabulous sponsors. And so you want to make sure if your mower is not working well, you give Gary Rastelli over at Ridgetop Mower of Springfield a call. He's conveniently located right between Baldwin's Barbecue and Ace Hardware at 1101 Matthew Street in Springfield. And they are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Saturday, 8 a.m. to noon. And if you want to give them a call, the number is 615-855-0044. Again, that's 615-855-0044. Gary has been servicing mowers, I think probably since the time he's been walking, basically. He is so good at it. So if you want to just cut to the chase and get it done right, instead of having to go back into him after you've gone somewhere else and they messed up your mower, go see Gary at Ridgetop Mower of Springfield. And if you tell him that you heard about it from Lee Marie, you might still get 10% off parts and labor. I don't know. It's worth a shot. All right down the street, Southside Drug Company on Main Street. You know, the neighborhood drugstores, they're drying up. And so, we want to make sure that we are shopping local and supporting our family-run businesses. And so Southside Drug Co. is one of those. They're a full-service pharmacy. They also have other types of gifts there. You just got to check them out, okay? They're at 1000 South Main Street in Springfield. I know most of you know where they are, but we do have new folks in town, and I want to make sure you guys are shopping local. Their store hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon. For more information about them, you can visit southsidedrugco.com. aubreynicole.com. And again, make sure you tell them Lee Marie sent you. All right, guys, you are tuned into The Go Show with Lee Marie. And of course, you know I'm here every single Wednesday. And I interview real interesting people like Aubrey Nicole. And I also will tell you guys about upcoming events that are happening. So I'll be sprinkling those in our interview as well. And so, of course, one thing that we were talking about straight off was called Sunday Morning Country. And that's what the flyer looks like. I posted it and I pinned it on the top of my Lee Marie Facebook page, so you can go there right now and see it. I saw the show the last 2 years, and it was just so wonderful. I loved it. So I'm just like trying to tell everybody about it. If you want to get tickets, the box office number is 1-800-733-6779, or you can go to www.opry.com/events. And again, it is, even though it's called Sunday Morning Country, it starts in the afternoon. So, so it starts at 3:30. Be sure to get there in time for the pre-show because it really is fabulous. And then 4:00 is their the time that they have advertised. But show up at 3:30 for the pre-show. You will not be disappointed. And I think it goes for a few hours, doesn't it?
I honestly...
Is this your first time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did not realize that.
It's my first summer in Nashville.
Okay. All right. Well, wow, you're going to have a blast.
I know.
So much fun.
I'm excited.
So make sure that it's always, the Sunday after the CMAs, because there's still a lot of people in town and a lot of people that want to go to a churchy type of service. So it's a great opportunity to see all these talented musicians and singers, praising the Lord, and just, a lot of your favorite songs you will hear at that. So don't miss Sunday Morning Country, June 7th, 3:30 p.m. at the Grand Ole Opry stage in Nashville, Tennessee. So that is one thing that's coming up, but I do want to mention a couple other local things before I get back into the interview with Aubrey. Tomorrow, guys, you can join a sign language class. This is so fun and so practical and useful. So if you are not busy on Thursday evenings, this is going to be running from tomorrow through May 21st. And it is Thursday nights from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And the teacher said, hey, I know there's some workers that work till 5. So if they can't get there till 5:15, that is no problem at all. So if that is you, don't worry. You won't be the only one coming in at 5:15. So this is going to be at Crossroads Christian Bookstore at 600 South Main Street in Springfield, and just show on up. If you want, you can register by going to Well in the Square Facebook page. But just what a great thing to have, and I'm really looking forward to learning some worship songs. That's a cool idea. Because every time if I'm at a church and there's someone signing, you get so much more out of the song when you also see the pictures of it. Like Jesus is, you touch your hands like that, and that's
amazing.
So anyways, I am looking forward. I will be joining that class tomorrow as well. And so Alana is the teacher. She is the official interpreter for the Robertson County School District. She also signs over at Springfield Baptist, and I worked with her at the library. That's how I met her, and she was the sign language teacher then as well. And so she does a fabulous job. She is so patient and so loving and kind. So make some new friends. Get on out to the sign language class at Well in the Square, right there, walking distance to the historic courthouse. Okay. Another thing that's happening real soon, and I hope you guys were watching Laverne's show, but I know not everybody was because it's early. Laverne comes on 7 to 8 Monday through Friday, but she had on Jonathan Rudy, and he is the leader, director, cantor of Grace Lutheran Church in Clarksville, and they're doing Handel's Messiah Part 2 and Part 3.
So cool.
I know, and I went to Part 1, and it was fabulous. So I'm really excited to go this Sunday, 4 p.m. I know, y'all, it's in Clarksville, but you know what? That's not that far, especially for Handel's Messiah. Goodness. So, and it's free. So go on out and see Handel's Messiah this Sunday at 4 p.m. You will not be sorry, because I did go to the first one, and it was fabulous. Okay. One thing that I did do last night, I went on my Facebook page and I did share a bunch of events because there's so much coming on. Matter of fact, today is the first day of early voting for the primary that's going to be happening the first week of May. So there's that calendar for the election right there. And early voting runs today through April 30th. It's only Monday through Friday. And I believe it is 8 to 4:30. Yes, 8 a.m. to 4:30 at the election office right there over on Brown Street. It's always better to vote early because if you just leave your vote down to one day, so much can happen on that one day, right? May 5th, you could be sick or, something could happen where you need to help out someone. And I've heard it time after time where people say, I wish I would have, I almost said prayed earlier. Well, that too. The next thing on the list is National Day of Prayer. Make sure you put this on your calendar, guys, because this is Thursday, May 7th. That is the day in all of America that is the National Day of Prayer. So everybody all across, and I love what this little blurb said, and so I'm going to read this real quick here. It says, this year, on our nation's 250th anniversary, the National Day of Prayer celebrates 75 years of prayer for America. So from capitals to courthouses to campuses, millions will gather in local prayer gatherings to glorify God among the nations, seeking Him in all generations. Robertson County, this is it. You are to go to the Robertson County Courthouse steps, the historic courthouse steps, at noon on Thursday, the first Thursday of May, May 7th. And join. It's going to be just from noon to 1. It probably will even be over a little bit before then. So those of you who, are working and you're just on your lunch break, no problem at all. Come at 12, probably leave at 12:45. We just really want to get as many people to gather together in prayer. And so maybe you can look into your campus and see, because
I'm sure Beaumont's got something going on.
Yeah. So find out. And if they don't, go online and submit, because they have a real user-friendly system that you can, actually you can go to the National Day of Prayer, just Google that, National Day of Prayer, and you can look up all the different counties and states and what they're doing. Awesome. So you can see if your place has that.
Yeah.
All right. So, but anyway, you can go to my Facebook page for all of those things that I mentioned. There's going to be a drive-in laser light show. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but it looks super cool. I'm bringing this up right now. It's loading on my Facebook page. Drive-in laser light show. This is going to be Friday, May 1st and Saturday, May 2nd. And it looks, Robertson County Fairgrounds. So you do need tickets. And so I did put that link up on my show. They're going to have some different decades to pick from. So one of the laser shows is going to be 70s, 80s, 90s, and today's hits and classic rock. And then, and it says it's all choreographed with cutting edge effects, high-powered lasers, and giant screen projections. So there's going to be 8 p.m. nightly will be the current and classic pop and country, family friendly, and then the rock one will be rock anthems from the 70s, 80s, and 90s will be at 9:30 Friday and Saturday. The other family one is 8 p.m. nightly. So that just looks really fun and interesting. So I did save that on my Facebook page. So guys, if you do have things that are going to be interesting for families, please let me know, because I love to announce them. Also, Andrew Goldman is coming live to Unity Free Will Baptist Church, and I believe the Higher Calling is going to be also playing that night, and you all love Brother T and Higher Calling. So Unity Free Will Baptist Church is located at 2635 New Hall Road in Greenbrier, and this is going to be April 23rd, so that's really coming up close here at 7 p.m. And so you can follow American Top Gospel on Facebook. That's a good thing that you should also like. Yeah. American Top Gospel, because Brother T puts a lot of the local things on there that are coming.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so Southern Gospel, Bluegrass Gospel, all that kind of stuff. So make sure you check out American Top Gospel. So those are just a few things. I'll sprinkle some more in later, but I want to get back to my special guest, Aubrey Nicole, who was on season 28 of The Voice with Reba as her coach. What were some of the takeaways or the best things that you learned from Reba?
Definitely, I feel like my biggest thing I guess gift with my voice is that I really connect to what I'm singing. And I guess I didn't really understand that. I just, I did musical theater for a while, so I was just like thinking that I connected to them in like an emotional aspect or maybe like an acting perspective. I wasn't quite sure what people meant when they said it, but I always just said thank you, and I thought it was something that was cool. But she always gave me the best notes about my voice and how they went hand in hand with that gift. And there was this one time that when we were working on the Martina song, she had told me, she was like, I feel like you're going to understand this because you're an actress too, but what's the most emotional part of crying? And I told her, I was like, well, before you cry, because you have to, when you're trying to fake cry, you really got to bring up all those emotions so then you cry. Or honestly, when you cry in general, like you get all worked up and then it all just lets loose. And so she told me, she was like, I think you need to take that perspective when you sing. And she more so meant by that in a vocal perspective that in like the lower verses or before I even sing, I need to get into this mindset and put the emotion there. So when I'm up in the rafters singing these big notes and when you really get into the song, the emotion's already there and you don't have to think about it as much. And that made a lot of sense to me. And so then when I sang that song, it was unfortunately right around the same time that her stepson had passed away. And the song was I'm Gonna Love You Through It by Martina McBride, which is a song about a husband loving his wife through her cancer diagnosis. And her Reba's stepson had passed away from cancer, unfortunately. And I was so nervous for this performance because I knew I had to do it perfectly. So it didn't seem like I was maybe trying to like put salt in a wound. The song was chosen before any of it happened. And so I was just beyond nervous because I didn't want to make her upset. You know what I mean? And so I had to think for myself while I was up there. I kept going back and forth. I was like, how do I sing this song? Do I like, really bring on that emotional side? Do I just tell a story? Like, what am I supposed to do? And while I was standing up there before I sang the song, I realized I should just sing it to her in a way that feels like more of a shoulder to cry on instead of telling this story that's like devastating. And that clicked something in my brain immediately. Like I'm a very empathetic person and I'm a very emotional person. So connecting that empathy with my music or realizing that was the connection that people always said, like, I was very emotional when I sang. Now it made sense. Then I was like, oh, it's empathy and it's wanting to help other people through my voice and through my storytelling. So that was that was like an eye opener for me, specifically from her. But my second favorite note I got from her was for when I sang Black Velvet. She said, "Baby, you got to look in the mirror and you got to pretend you're what did she say? George Strait." Because she kept telling me, she's like, "You can't smile when you sing this song." It's so funny.
Yeah. Well, I have a couple comments on that because the first thing that you said about, putting that emotion, I have to think about my husband because he's a great vocal coach with me and he sings in the choirs that we're in together.
That's awesome.
But the other day we were driving to church and he was having me sing, he kept coaching me and stuff. And this one time he said, I want in that sentence right there, I want your whole life in that sentence. Just, sing it out. It's the most important thing in the whole world, And so I was doing that and he's like, see the difference? And I'm like, wow,
That's crazy.
So, and then the second piece of advice when you said, not to smile, that's important because and that goes through in a lot of entertainment stuff. I can't tell you how many times I'm watching like newscasts, right? And they're like, and there was a 4-car pileup, and they're like smiling, and I'm like, no.
I'm a little too smiley, so that I needed to remember the context of that song, and I was like, oh, this is a little more solemn, a little more cool, not yay.
So how hard was that to not smile in that song and to do something that wasn't you?
Honestly, it was hard, but once she gave me that note, I really dove into the song and realized how I connected to it. Like sometimes I just need to figure out what emotion I should actually feel because like I was smiling because I like the song and I think it's a fun song and that's how I was connecting to it. Like I just thought it was a fun, showy song, and then I looked at the history behind it, and it's honestly a pretty solemn song because it's about Elvis's death. Or it's a tribute to Elvis. And I was like, oh, like I can't be up there smiling singing this song.
Very interesting. All right. So can we ask how old you are?
Yes, I'm 20.
20 years old. Wow, that is so cool. So, and you're at Belmont University. Is your major music or?
Yes, I was a music major for 2 years and then I decided to switch over to songwriting. So I'm currently a songwriting major, which totally sounds fake. But I promise you it's real. It's actually a really cool degree. I learn all about the music business particularly, but I also learn, how to write songs. In all the different ways you can make money by writing songs for other people, the formula of writing songs, which I never thought there was much of a formula, but you learn things that you would have never thought of.
So I have a question for you, because I took a music business class like way back in the 80s,
Yeah.
long time ago. And one of the things that I had learned was that, very few songs that are on the radio as a hit are longer than 3 minutes. Like you want to keep it short.
Mm-hmm. It's
So
getting
what
shorter
is
and shorter.
so
too.
what is the like optimum that they're telling you now?
This honestly, it kind of depends now because now streaming is such a big thing. So like honestly, you put out a 4.5 minute long song, it'll go fine on Spotify. But on the radio, it's cut down to like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Like
Yeah,
it's gotten
2 minutes
down.
and 30 seconds. Yeah, that sounds right. Because it's just like, when you do dance performances, and I'm also from the dance world, oftentimes we're cutting down those songs.
Yep.
People's attention span, it's hard to keep it over 2 minutes. And I know that sounds weird, but you want them to want more. You don't want them to be like looking at their watch, like, okay, I've heard that chorus 7 times now or whatever, like.
Yep.
So that is a good, if you want to be on the radio, you do need to keep it definitely under 3 minutes, guys. All right. So what other great things are you learning over at Belmont?
A lot actually. Luckily, like I loved being a music major because it taught me a lot of things that musically I would have never learned before and vocally I would have never learned before. But I knew I needed to learn the business because my career was starting to pick up and I didn't know what I was doing. And so at Belmont, I mean, not only are you learning about the music business in class, but the professors are all working in the industry. And it's not like they, were in the industry a long time ago and now they're teaching. Like they are genuinely still working. My songwriting teacher from last semester just wrote a song for Reba McEntire that she sang on The Voice, which was a crazy connection. That was super cool. But like they're in it. And so anytime that I need help with anything, I can go to them, like a contract that I don't know how to read. Like there's all kinds of stuff from right now. Gosh, the music business classes I'm taking are copyright law. I'm taking an audio engineering class. I'm taking a songwriting class. All kinds of cool stuff. It's really just amazing. There's publishing, like anything you would need to know in order to be a successful artist, or I think also in songwriting, you have a pretty good chance of being a music publisher. You really are so well set up at Belmont because they just teach you everything. And if they don't specifically teach it in class, you can go and ask them.
How did you pick that school?
Funny enough, my mom had looked up like schools where other like famous country artists had gone to, and Belmont immediately it was like Belmont, because it's Brad Paisley, Trisha Yearwood, like everybody and their brother basically. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool." But when I was looking at colleges, I was thinking I wanted to act and sing. So I thought about maybe doing musical theater or acting or specifically just singing. Like there was a couple different things I was thinking of, but I knew I wanted to go to Belmont. And so I went to Belmont for my audition and they were like, we read your college essay about like what you want to do with your life. And like, it says country music and film acting, but you're auditioning for musical theater. And I was like, yeah. And they were like, well, we have a major here that's specifically, most vocal majors are more like on the classical, like opera side of things, which I am by no means an opera singer, so I could not do that. But Belmont and a couple other like colleges too, I'm pretty sure, they have a commercial voice program, which is like you get to sing whatever genre you want, and you're specifically taught how to do that. So I did that, and then once I started going with the voice and everything, I realized I needed less classes because being a music major is so time consuming, but it's amazing and it's so worth it, especially if your interest is to teach as well. I am not musical theory educated enough for that. And so I was like, I want to learn the business. I want to go to the artist route for this. And so that's why I decided to switch to songwriting.
Now, do you have some shows coming up that you want to tell people about?
Yes, I have a couple shows coming up. I have... Oh gosh, let me think in my brain. So I have the Sunday Morning Country coming up on June 7th. On June 13th, back in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, I have this festival called Boots and Burnt CDs. Then I'm going to be playing, these are more local shows, or for back home, I apologize, in Pennsylvania or Maryland. I'm going to be playing the York Fair which is really fun. It's a pretty big deal from where I'm from, so that's going to be an awesome experience. And I have a lot of other cool shows coming up this summer, but also trying to think of things that are more recent or coming up soon. I have a writers round on April 23rd if anyone wants to come see.
Well, and I want to do, I have a little venue here with the stage, and I'm wanting to do a writer's thing. So, with you in Belmont, we better
absolutely
talk about that. That's a great idea. All right, guys, I have a couple more sponsors to tell you about before we talk about a couple more shows. And again, we are meeting with Aubrey Nicole. She was on season 28 of The Voice with Reba as her coach and learned a whole bunch of stuff from her. That is such a great story. And only being 20, that's amazing.
Thank you.
UPS Store, we want to thank you guys for being sponsors here of the Go Show. They are your one-stop shop for all your printing needs. They've got packing and shipping materials, office products. They can make business cards for you if you need one designed. They do blueprints, document shredding, notary services. They even have mailboxes. Porch pirates, those are up on the rise, unfortunately. But have you seen those videos where people put those exploding things inside the boxes?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then the people get all mad, like
as if they were already trying to steal a package.
Yes, like you're a thief. You can't get mad just because of. Anyways, yeah. So that seems like a fun thing. Anyway, so UPS Store is located at 513 Memorial Boulevard. You guys know where they are because in the same basic area as HG Hill. If you need to go running in to get something there. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6:30. And now Saturdays 9 to 3 and Sundays 10 to 3. So they have updated hours for the weekends. You can call them at 615-384-0093. That's 615-384-0093. Or just stop in and tell them Lee Marie sent you. Go give Deborah Grant a hug. That's where she's hanging out. She's one of our favorite people. And all right, Coldstream Christian Camp. I don't know, you probably haven't been there yet, Aubrey, but it is really cool, and it's only about 15 minutes from here.
Yeah.
Yes, so if you want to have your church or your family have a place to go have a retreat, Coldstream has lots of different options. You can rent the whole campground, or you can just rent different cabins, and they have lots to choose from. So, but this, let's see, April 18th, which is that this Saturday? I think it is. They are having their first ever homecoming event. And so you can reconnect with people you used to go there with. So you want to go see them April 18th at Coldstream Christian Camp. For more information, you can email them at info@coldstreamchristiancamp.org or call them 615-696-2208. I'm going to turn things over back to Aubrey to give us some update on the Sunday morning country show while I go and take a breath there. Go ahead.
So Sunday Morning Country is on June 7th. I am super excited to be a part of it because I have always dreamed about singing on the Grand Ole Opry stage. So that is going to be more than amazing. And I'm also super excited and very honored that I get to be in an event, especially on the Opry stage for the first time, with an event that's specifically, catered to professing my faith, and being able to do that literally on the Opry stage is more than I could ever ask for. So I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a great opportunity. I really hope you guys love it. Again, it's the pre-show starts at 3:30, and then the actual show, did you say 4 o'clock or 4:30? 4 o'clock. Yep. So I am super excited. It's going to be really, really cool. And it'll also be my first time on that stage. So it's
my goodness,
dream come true.
Photo ops. Yeah, so make sure you guys get your tickets for that because it's a great all ages event. Okay, a couple other events I do need to let you know about. One is Sunday, April 26th, and this is Nashville Praise Symphony in concert. That might be something fun to come up for you.
Cool, yeah.
It's not too far. It's going to be held at Springfield Baptist Church, and this is Sunday, April 26th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's free admission, but they will be taking an offering for My Father's House, and that is our homeless shelter. So again, that's Sunday, April 26th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And hopefully we will going to have Sheila Bird come in soon and talk more about what she has upcoming. But this shirt that I'm wearing, actually, it says Freedom Steppers on it. That is one of Sheila's groups, and they're set to perform some patriotic line dancing at a couple upcoming events. So make sure you stay tuned for that. One of them is My Father's House benefit, and that's going to be in May, I believe May 17th, if that is a Saturday. There's an Operation shoulder to shoulder military salute event. And so as part of that, the Freedom Steppers are going to be performing. Okay, so Saturday, May 16th. But I want to have Sheila on to talk more about that. Also coming up in April 28th, a night in Hollywood. This looks really fun. This is a senior prom. But, I had the YMCA on, I think last week. And Caitlin said, well, it's not just for seniors. All ages can actually come. But it is their senior program that is putting this on at the Robertson County YMCA. And so this is actually on a Tuesday night, which is great because there's so many things that happen on Saturdays. It's great to spread things out, right? So Tuesday, April 28th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. The theme is Hollywood. Tickets are only $10, and that includes dinner. So they are saying dressy attire is optional, but I know some people are going to be dressing like prom, so that's going to be a fun time. So it will be right over here at the YMCA in Springfield. You guys know where that's at, on Tom Austin Boulevard, just past Walmart and past Chick-fil-A. So again, senior prom, Tuesday, April 28th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Tickets are only $10. You better get your tickets because I don't know, but it sounds like that could sell out. Okay. I am back in the studio. Only have about 10 minutes left with Aubrey Nicole. She is a student at Belmont University. She was on season 28 of The Voice with Reba, and she's a singer-songwriter, wonderful Christian, and she is going to be in the Sunday Morning Country Show, and that's why I had asked her to come on because, not a lot of people know about Sunday Morning Country. I hadn't heard of it until a couple years ago. And when I went, I was like, oh, this is fabulous. And so I'm really trying to get more people from Robertson County to go because it's not that far. It's just down like maybe 35 minutes from the station. So it's coming up on June 7th, 3:30 p.m. and you'll be able to see it. Now, are you singing a solo or are you singing?
Yes.
You are.
Oh,
my goodness.
I'm super excited.
Do you know what it is yet?
I do.
Oh, okay. Do you want to tell people or is it a surprise?
Am I allowed to?
I don't know.
Maybe I'll keep it a surprise just in case
Let's
I
keep
get
it a
in trouble
surprise for now.
everybody know.
Yeah, that's right. And then if you find out you can tell, then you can always put it in the comment section.
Absolutely. I got you.
And speaking of the comment section, guys, just a reminder, our show, of course, is live on the radio, 1100 if you're local. But you can also hear us 24/7 on the phone app. So WSGI has a phone app. We're also, of course, our video is streaming live right now on Facebook and YouTube. And there's a comment section. So, matter of fact, I should probably look at that real quick because sometimes people put questions on there. And if I don't check, then I don't ask them. So I'm going to look on there right now and see if we have any questions. But what you can do, if at any point, Aubrey, you want to, add in additional information that you thought of afterwards, you can always go ahead and go in the comment section. Okay, I don't see anything in our comment section right now, so I think we're safe. No questions. So what else do you want to talk about?
I did actually totally forget when we were talking about upcoming gigs. I have a really fun show coming up on May 15th at Chiefs on Broadway. It's actually going to be me and 2 other contestants from my season of The Voice, as well as the season 7 winner.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a little showcase. I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, and
so that'll be fun.
What is the time on that? Do you know?
That is a great question. Let me
pull it up too. I think I did see it on your Facebook page.
Yes, it's right on.
And guys, you can go to Aubrey's Facebook page. It's just Aubrey Nicole, and there's a fabulous picture of her with her awards. And I did see that. I think I want to say it's like 7 or something like that.
It's probably like that.
Okay. There's your coach right there, your vocal coach.
Oh.
You are gonna love the music director for Sunday Morning Country.
Yeah.
Mark Thomas. Have you met him yet?
I don't think so.
Oh my goodness. He is fabulous.
I'm so excited.
Yes. He teaches piano and voice and directs the show each time. And he's just
awesome.
Yep. Okay.
The show is 8 p.m. So Friday, May 15th at 8 p.m.
Okay. And
Chiefs
again,
on Broadway.
Chiefs on Broadway. All right. So that is local. So you can meet her then. And that'll be right before the Sunday Morning Country Show. So May 15th. And do you know what you're doing there? Are you singing with them or are you singing solos? Okay.
So I'm pretty sure we're all going to do some sort of duet. Like with, specifically, I know Austin, Gilbert, and I are definitely doing one. We've already talked about that. I'm not sure if Aaron and I are doing one. We haven't talked about it, but I'm sure we will. And then I haven't talked to Craig Wayne Boyd, who is the season 7 winner. We haven't talked about it either.
Okay.
This is a little far in advance. Nashville moves quick.
So who did he have, the winner as his coach? Do you remember? Oh, it's okay. Sorry.
Maybe Blake? I feel like it was Blake. If I am not 100% sure.
All right. So it says Aaron Nichols and friends from The Voice. Yep. Okay. So yeah. So Wayne Boyd, Aubrey Nicole, and Austin Gilbert.
Yep.
Second and Broadway. May 15th. So definitely you want to check that out. Awesome. Okay. If people want to get a hold of you, is the best way to message you through Facebook, or do you have an email or a website, or what's your...
Yeah, definitely. I mean, people can message me on anything. I really, at this point, check all of my, my DMs and my IMs basically every single day, if not every day, every other day. Yeah, all of my social media is Aubrey Nicole official. So that's AUBREY for Aubrey, NICOLE for Nicole, and official is OFFICAIL.
Okay.
IAL, however you spell official.
Okay. No problem. Oh, and I forgot to mention one other show. I don't know if you know who T. Graham Brown is.
Oh, of course.
Okay. You've got to go see him do his testimony. I don't know. Have you seen him do his testimony?
No.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I went a couple weeks ago to John Briggs's church, and I've seen T. Graham do his testimony before. This was the second time I saw him, but now I'll get to see him a third time. And he is going to be at Lights Chapel in Greenbrier, 10 a.m. on Sunday, May 3rd. So it's going to be their anniversary for Lights Chapel. And so T. Graham is going to be on it. You have to go.
That's awesome.
It is amazing. It really is. I mean, yeah, don't miss it. That is like the thing not to miss coming up. So Lights Chapel is located at 2848 Lights Chapel Road in Greenbrier. It's a sweet little country church.
Oh,
it is not large. So if you want to get a seat, you better get in there early, because that's going to be a real special time there. So again, it's May 3rd, and that is also their 50th anniversary as a church. And so I think that they're going to be doing a meal. I'll have more details on a future Go show about that, but definitely put that on your calendar, Sunday, May 3rd, 10 a.m. And so let's see, today is the 15th. Oh, today's tax day. Happy tax day. It is also early voting has started. So you can vote in the primary over at the election office on South Brown Street. It's always good to vote early, because just leaving it to one day is pretty scary. Now, tomorrow is Thursday, the 16th, and I will be teaching line dance for fun and fitness at 11 a.m. at Well in the Square. It's only $10. It's real important, guys, to be moving your body, because it really helps your balance, your mental state, your physical state, your memory, staves off Alzheimer's. So if you're not in some type of a physical program right now, please, please, please get in one. This coming Saturday, there's a really cool expo over in White House at the White House Municipal Center. And I heard that there's, I want to say almost 70 vendor booths set up. Wow. So this coming Saturday in White House, that runs from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I know that U-Turn Laverne had White House on not too long ago, talking about all the vendors that are going to be there. So definitely a fun time. I know live music, lots of food trucks, lots of vendors. It's called a safety expo, but they're really, they've got everything going on there. So super fun times. And then I already mentioned tomorrow night at 5 p.m. is the sign language class. So make sure that you get that on. This coming Sunday, Handel's Messiah, 6 to 8, 4 p.m. Sorry, there's something else. This coming Sunday, the 19th, is Handel's Messiah Part 2 and 3 over at Grace Lutheran Church in Clarksville. If you missed Laverne's show today, go back and watch, because she had on the conductor, director, cantor, and I did see Part 1 at that same location, and it was fabulous. So I highly recommend you going out there this Sunday, 4 p.m. It is a free event, so make sure you get out for that. So much. There's just, so much going on. And the other day on Facebook, I saw someone saying, like, I've lived in Robertson County for 6 years and I don't have any friends. And it's like, there's so much going on. That is your fault. I'm just going to tell you right now. That is your fault, because you're staying in your house too much. I actually don't have a television. That's why I had to ask you a lot of questions about voice, because I really didn't know.
Okay. That's
no,
okay.
I
don't
left
really
it.
watch TV either.
I purposely left it at home before I moved here, because I love going out and meeting people and seeing things live. And that's why, like, when we moved here, within a month, we already had like 50 friends.
That's awesome.
Literally.
That's super.
And now we have like 300, which I absolutely love
Amen.
this county. It is so amazing. But anyway, there's so much going on, guys. And of course, our library, it's not just a library, it is an activity center. This is our beautiful calendar that comes out every single month. And there are things for every age group on here. One thing that I really love is Debbie Liner now is she's the computer guru over there. And instead of doing classes that are very specific, like, okay, this is now, PowerPoint class or a class on resumes, she's now just doing computer help. So Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m., you can go into the computer lab at Stokes Brown Public Library and just say, hey, can you help me with this? And it's great because then, you don't have to just go on a particular day. And for some reason, the computer lab just isn't utilized that much. So it's great. Like it's getting like a free private lesson in any computer thing that you want to get, help in. So I really love that they're doing that over there. But you can check out the Stokes Brown Public Library on their Facebook page. And they always have this beautiful calendar on there, as well as the Robertson County Senior Center. They also have their calendar up. Again, they have stuff every day. They've got Monday through Friday. They have, some great jumpstart your joint classes. Again, be moving your body, get out with people. If you are suffering from depression or anxiety, you need to get out with people. Okay, we're not supposed to be home alone, staring at the wall and listening to the enemy give you lies. Okay, get out and invite people. And one of my favorite lines to say is, hey, you know what? There's this thing going on Sunday at 4:00 and I don't want to go by myself. Can I pick you up? Will you go with me? It's really hard for someone to say no. Okay, so even if, someone else is going and, you would rather go by yourself, don't say that. Just say, hey, I don't want to go by myself. Can I pick you up? Because there's a lot of people out there, guys, that are just waiting for an invitation, and we need each other, guys. Connection is so important. And so there's no excuse to be home without friends when there's this much going on in the county. And you can always private message me if you want to know, like, hey, what's going on, today? Because I love going out and being on top of all the things that are happening. What do you think about that?
That sounds really cool. I never even thought about what you had said about sending the text, asking people if you'll come along with you. That's really smart.
And you know what? I mean, even for church, like this one time, it was Easter season, and I like texted, I don't know, like 8 friends or something, anybody want to go? Like there were people that I knew didn't have a church. Mm-hmm. All of them said yes. Oh. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I did that for a candlelight Christmas service too one time. And I got, I think 10 out of 12 people said yes. And I was like, wow, God is waiting to use you guys. He's got these things that he wants people to be in close fellowship with him. Yeah. And so, but sometimes, it takes another human to take them some places.
Absolutely.
So be listening. Of course, we're supposed to be praying without ceasing, but that doesn't always just mean giving your laundry list. You need to be listening. Prayer is a conversation, but it's a two-way thing. So be listening for what God, has for you to do. And I'm sure, that you had some divine appointments along the way.
Absolutely.
In your career. Yep. So now, you're a sophomore right now at Belmont?
I'm a junior.
Junior at Belmont. Yep. Okay.
My parents put me into school early.
I was going to say, wow, already 20. Very good. Yep. And so is your goal then to kind of stay in the Nashville area?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I've definitely been bitten by the bug. So I'll keep continuing releasing songs, touring around, gigging as much as I can. I'm excited for Nashville this summer and to just hop on a gig or a writer's round, hopefully at least 5 times a week.
Oh, nice. Now, I know we only have a couple minutes left, but I have a quick question, and that is, did you know, like as a little kid, that you wanted to do music, or like what would, Yeah,
I feel like it's something that I had, there was never any doubt that that's what I wanted to do. Of course, I had like a couple little like, I'm going to be a vet, a random thing that I just kind of thought would be cool, given the chance. But it always was immediately my music. And it was even funny. There was a time where I was wondering what to do when I went to college, and both of my parents were like, you're going for music. Like usually it's supposed to be the opposite, where they're like, you need to get a stable career, you need to do this, but they are so supportive. So awesome. Yeah, it was really great. But it's always been, my entire life, it's always been my favorite thing, because it's been the thing that makes me. Like it's always been what I loved. So
Well, yeah, and the scripture that says, God gives us the desires of our heart. He puts things in our hearts. So best not to ignore those.
absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely my reason I was put on the earth.
That's awesome. It was kind of funny how you said that, because I kind of did the opposite. Like I loved musicals my whole life, and so I wanted to go to that, and parental units were telling me, get degrees that you can fall back on, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
So I did. I ended up getting 2 master's degrees
Oh my gosh.
in other, public administration and other stuff. But I mean, God will use all things, so he is. But anyways, it was kind of funny because I started a dance career in my 30s, because I just started taking dance as a stress release from graduate school.
Yes, I can
and
imagine.
ended up finding dancers and then teaching, and ended up teaching 10,000 dancers or 10,000 students how to dance.
Oh my gosh.
And then doing shows, we did Disneyland and all that with 20 years of swing dance shows.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I know. So it was all because that is what I was supposed to be doing, So I actually finished all my coursework for PhD, and I quit it to do this dance stuff.
serious?
I know. Everybody's like, you're crazy.
No,
Sometime I might go back and finish it, but
amazing.
but for right now, I'm in entertainment and I love it.
Yes.
And so, but yeah.
That was just your path. That's awesome.
Yeah. So you never know, but God is going to be using everything. I know, Romans 8:28, he used all things together, for good for those who love him and called according to his purpose. All right. It is 9:00. Linda's giving me the watch signal. So thank you so much, Linda, for helping us out with the production of the show. Thank you, Aubrey Nicole, for joining us. I'm super excited now when I see you at Sunday Morning Country, you'll have a friend.
Yes, I'm
already.
so excited. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you could come. And of course, we want to thank Melanie Walker for arranging this interview. She's a vice president of the Music City Christian Fellowship. That is who puts on the Sunday Morning Country Show. And what a great bunch of people. Oh, my goodness. When you start meeting all of them,
Yeah, I'm excited.
yeah, so it's going to be fun. All right, guys, and we'll all see you. You will also see Aubrey June 7th at Sunday Morning Country Show at the Grand Ole Opry. Yay. All right, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you all for listening and watching. You have been listening to 1100 WSGI. Make it a great day. God bless.